Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you so much for joining our call today. Super grateful for those who are here live and the comments that have been made. It's like 20 after already because we had such an amazing discussion before we even started the recording. So just so you know, we will go a little bit over time. Still going to be 30 minutes or close to 30 minutes on our recording. So just be aware of that. If for some reason you need to drop off, we will not be offended. I am just really seeing how our, I also want to welcome those who are here on the podcast. You are certainly welcome. And I know that the 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time doesn't necessarily fit with every single person. So super grateful that that's why we do the podcast, and grateful for you guys joining us on a daily basis through the podcast as well. I'm just really seeing how our gratitude call builds one day to the next and 1 week to the next. And I'm just feeling like so high right now. I just have this amazing high energy. I am going to be doing a masterclass this month on gratitude because it's November and it's the month of Thanksgiving. And I just feel like it's just such a perfect time to count our blessings and really be in that state of gratitude throughout the whole month. And so just every day, not only in our gratitude call, but I'm just being very open to understand the power of gratitude and what it opens the door for us to do and to be. And so you can, catch those thoughts that I'm going to be sharing on pretty much any of my platforms. But Suzanne, who is sometimes on this call, she's not here today live, but she's on here quite often. She has started a new group called Mentors in Training, and an amazing group. She's got several master mentors that are going to be doing master classes in that group. And, as a mentor, we're all still students. Any of us who are wanting to help others, we're a mentor. If we're reaching back and pulling people up, we are considered a mentor. If we have peers around us that are, kind of masterminding because we're all on the same page and thinking good, high thoughts, then, we can be a mentor in that respect as well. And even as a mirror for other people, maybe even if we're aspiring to something beyond us, we can actually be a teacher to other people that are even beyond, well beyond our level of learning or whatever. So in any respect, we could be a teacher or a mentor. So I'm really grateful for this new group that Susanna started, and she's invited me to do a masterclass this month on gratitude. So just love the opportunity of allowing myself to sit in gratitude, even past the gratitude call, to see what, those benefits of gratitude are that I'll get to share in that group. And I'll be sharing those to my other platforms as well. But if you, are an aspiring mentor, or if you're a master mentor or whatever, any level in between, we would love to have you join us over there on her Mentors in Training group. Facebook group. The subject that I would like to focus on today on our 90-second private meditation is gratitude for rising to the next level. I just feel like everything, this line upon line learning that we've had over however long, at least the last 2 days, has really brought us to this new higher level of gratitude, higher level of understanding, higher level of seeing things on a much grander scale. And I just would like to acknowledge that with gratitude for rising to the next level. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. And we're just going to write down anything that comes to you, any inspired thoughts that come to you. And we'll begin that 90 seconds right now. Okay. I know we just had our election yesterday, and I don't know how everybody voted on this call, or if you're listening on the podcast, I don't know, what your political views are, but I heard a speech, or a portion of a speech by Donald Trump this morning, and it just, I'll post it. I had my husband send it to me, so I'll post it on the Facebook group, the Breakthrough with Gratitude Facebook group, so you can see what it is, hear what it is. But he said something in there, and I'm going to misquote it, but because I just heard it, and haven't listened to it more than once. But something about, when something seems impossible, that is just motivation to keep moving forward and find, basically find an answer. And also he talked about outsiders, and that the outsiders are the ones who really make things happen. And that is the kind of person that I want leading my country. I've heard speeches from others, who are aspiring to political leadership. And there's a lot of fear, and, would want us to really be afraid and look to the government as the answer. And I just love that inspiration of looking within ourselves with God as our partner, that anything is possible. And that's really what I believe. And I'm just so grateful that there are still people who not just talk the talk, but are actually walking the walk. That really inspires me to see that anything is possible when I take God as my partner. Who else has something that they'd like to share?
I'd like to share.
Okay.
So the first thought that came to me was, in rising to the next level, my kids like to climb up on the kitchen counter and jump to me, and I catch them. And like the first couple times they do it, they want me to be really close, and then they start seeing and trusting that they can do it. And so they tell me to back up farther, and they like to see how far away I can get, and they still jump to me and I catch them. And the last few days, I've really been thinking about how the more understanding we gain, the more the closer we align with God, he invites us to do the same thing, that instead of him meeting us really close, he stops a little farther away and invites us out into the dark, farther than we've ever gone before, so that we can gain evidence of the strength that we have within ourselves.
Wow, beautiful. There is opposition in all things. And I love what you said. The closer we get to God, the farther away we can be and still have faith. Thank you. I love that. Who else? Tyree.
So last night I was planning on extending my fast, but Tammy invited me to check in and see if that was the right thing, because she felt that it was just time to put what she had offered in the 40-day fast on the altar, and it was enough. And
Oh.
so I did check in, and she was right. And I realized that instead of focusing on fasting, my next step is to just focus on filling myself and connecting with God and with my family every day. And then during Laura's call, then I had this just amazing emotional experience that all of these things that I understood, when you understand the concept at some level, and it's just kind of floating around unconnected. But then as like Tammy talked about the dew, another time we talked about the dews that I just need to allow understanding to distill upon my soul as the dews of heaven. And it's sort of like that. It's just these things come together and it connects like this deep understanding, and it connects things to other things so that it's this amazing experience and in your soul. And they're in the Lord's Way to Wealth calls months ago. We were talking about the chapter of sex transmutation from Think and Grow Rich, and I understood it at some level, but I didn't really understand the application of it still. And even that like came in with all of these other things last night, and it was just this beautiful thing, and I still get to practice it, but I just am so grateful for that soul understanding.
Beautiful. All the things that we learn coming together in the perfect moment. And only God knows, exactly what we need to be able to have that synergistic moment where the wisdom, the understanding, the faith, everything kind of comes together, and to be this physical anchor, within our souls. That's like, yes, I will never forget this. This is how I'm moving forward. I love that. Also, wanted to kind of comment on something that you talked about, like with extending your fast, and going back to what Tammy was saying about jumping, like your kids jumping and asking them, her to step back further because they could trust her, just like see how far, we can go. That there is a point where ego takes over, and it's like, let me just see how much I can endure. And I think a lot of times, we look at even trials and suffering as something that we sort of have pride in. It's like, oh, I can, I was able to suffer through that. Let me see what else I can suffer through for. And it almost even invite experiences. And anyway, I think that there is definitely a counterfeit that happens with that that gap, that God invites us to step into. And always, having eyes on Christ, we have the power to, to be successful in that. But there does come a moment when we almost just like push away all the help, and we're like, I'm just going to see how good I can do, on my own or something. And that is definitely a counterfeit and based in ego. So there's a true way to have faith, and then there's also there's counterfeits to everything. So just something to consider. Thanks, Tyree, for sharing your experience there. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
Deepti?
Yes, so when I started my spiritual journey a couple of months ago, I was just scraping off the layer. And the further I kept learning, I realized there's a whole god gold mine inside. So I realized you dive in and the more you rise at a higher level, the more you start having those aha moments, and you also start feeling liberated. And I am so grateful for all the mentors, because I can do a journey on my own and still reach there, but it's going to take a lot more longer. So it's like something like when you're studying and you take these tuition classes from these teachers, and you just learn faster and you reach the destination quicker. So I think it's really important to acknowledge and thank all the mentors who are really walking the walk and helping us to rise to that higher level.
Beautiful. I love that. And I do agree, because we all have access to that higher knowledge, don't we, from God. And so we could eventually make it on our own, but how much faster and easier to just talk with someone who has already been there and be able to get there faster. Love that. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm super grateful for my mentors. Who else? We have time for maybe one or two more shares.
I'd like to share.
Thanks, Laura.
I realized that, when in being grateful for the next level, I'm grateful that I have new understandings each day if and when I pay attention. So God is always talking to me. He's always a soft whisper. He's the still small voice. And it's up to me whether I listen or not. So I have to be quiet and soft and open to his voice, to hear him, to be one with him, because in his nature, which is gentle and loving and strong and in 100% in integrity, I have to seek him in that space of quietude in my soul in order to have those new understandings and move towards that new next level, because it's my choice. I don't have to go to the next level, and I can stay where I'm at and to choose into that, but to realize that I can only do so through that open, humble, and quiet nature was my insight for the moment.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I mentioned, I can't remember if I mentioned it before the recording or after the recording, but I was talking with one of my clients yesterday, and we were having a discussion. I had actually been subcontracted to work with her through a different group, not, my own personal programs that I put out. And so the time that we had together, we worked together for a year. And because I was contracted through another company, I was, teaching according to their principles. And so I, wasn't really talking about God so much as I do and with my own personal clients. But we did have a discussion yesterday, and it was interesting to me that she had separated herself from God based on the description that somebody else gave to her about God. It wasn't her own personal witness of who God was and what he was or could be to her. And she had not experienced the love of God like I had. And so she had made a decision about him based on another person's description and understanding of God. And I love and I have something else to say about her, but I just want to say how grateful I am that we have that ability to be quiet and to listen and to actually receive directly from God. That's to me, that is the only way to really authentically rise to a higher level, is really listening to him. And what I noticed as we were talking, as I was talking with this client, it was our last call last night. It was our final call. And we were actually just talking about possibility of continuing to work together. And she shared with me all of the things that she's participating in. And there is so much busyness in her world as she is seeking for truth and for that calmness, trying to find a place of calmness without God.
Yeah.
And it is, it felt so chaotic and crazy. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do you have time to do anything? As she was describing to me, you know, the ways that she is trying to find that peace and that quietude that you're talking about.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Laura.
Yeah. And Deep Tea says, I'm slowing down my brain waves to listen to God. And yeah, it's exactly it. The science of how our brains operate is it's a physiological change that occurs in order for us to hear God. It's you know, it's slowing, getting out of like what you just said, Wileen, that busyness. So that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Kathy.
This was really powerful to me because I kind of see things in threes. So when you talked about, first of all, rising to the next level, I thought about the plan of salvation, the pre-earth life, this life, and rising to the next level when we graduate from this life. And then I thought of the word graduating and gradual, and so many things we level up gradually. But so seeing just the little steps along the way. And like, I also thought about the 3 degrees of glory, and there's, you know, the lower, the middle, the top, and how we hope to graduate to that highest level of glory, but even the lowest is still called a degree of glory. Then I thought about the spiritual journey, rising to a higher level in how we communicate with the Lord and God and Christ as our focus. Also, 3 levels of economy. There's the poor, the middle class, and the higher, and how we can strive to level up in each of those areas of our life. But I loved what Deepti said. I'm dedicated to my best life. And I thought about, you know, leveling up in all areas, checking in intuitively about which things and where we need to level up, and with focus on Christ and the most important areas of our lives, and just reaching the next level wherever we're guided.
Oh, beautiful. I love the what you shared has really just opened our minds to all the different ways that we can rise to the next level. And I think this is a really great place for us to transition into our permission process. We've got a couple of thoughts in the chat. Deep Tea, Laura already mentioned about slowing down the brain waves to listen to God. And let's see, Deep Tea also shared, so I'm getting a hang of what happens inside of me, and it's really helping me to curb my reactions. Yeah, so just all of these things that we learn coming together to help us become a better person and get closer to God. It's really what the whole goal is to become one with Him, just coming closer and closer the more that we learn. Thank you, everyone. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. And just know that there are so many different ways that we can really rise to the next level. So many areas in our lives where we can rise to the next level, and different aspects of our physiology, different aspects of our soul You know, Laura has mentioned there are lots of different aspects of our soul, even our environment. Kathy, you mentioned like poor, middle class, and wealthy, that we can rise to the next level financially. We can rise to the next level within a relationship. All these different ways that we can rise to the next level. And just allow yourself to be open to receive inspiration on what for you today would be the most important thing for you to focus on rising to the next level. And whatever that area of your life is, or whatever that facet of your soul is, that it's time to rise to the next level, I invite you to allow yourself to feel whole in that area and to see what it looks like to be whole in what is the highest level of this particular area or facet in your life. What does it mean to be whole? And allow yourself to just envision and be whole in that area. And also listening for any limiting beliefs that might be coming up, write those down. Because anytime we rise to a new level, there are always some safety measures that we have put in place in the past that have helped us stay where we're at, to be comfortable in our comfort zone. So as you're choosing to rise to a new level, there's inevitably going to be some limiting beliefs that will show up. Let's just write those down. Just know that's part of the process. Take one more deep breath. Allowing those new beliefs to just now be on the paper, and you have emptied your heart and your soul, your body of those limiting beliefs. So you don't have to honor those right now in this moment. You can just let them be on the paper. Know that we're going to deal with those in a moment, and to allow yourself to fully be whole inside of this new level, highest level in this particular area of your life. And what does it feel like? What are the emotions you're feeling? What does it sound like? What do you see? What do you hear? All of your emotions, all of your senses, all of your just employ all of your intuition to allow you to see and feel and touch and be in this space of the highest level possible of this area. Allowing your spirit and God to become one so that you can see what the ultimate authentic experience is. Pure light, pure creation. And as you're becoming more clear with what this pure creation is, what it was meant to be, the wholeness of it, what is the one most important thing that you could do today that would allow you to fully step into this space of wholeness, of having this pure creation be reality, what you experience every single day? What's your inspired shortcut today for this being whole and complete? And now that you know what that next step is, that inspired shortcut, let's turn our attention to those limiting beliefs that came up and examine the cost of those limiting beliefs associated with this vision that you have created. Are they even true? Are they in alignment with what is possible with this highest level of creation, pure creation, wholeness? Are they in alignment? Are they even true? And what is the cost if you hold on to them, if you keep them? And if you don't like that cost, if you're seeing that they're not true, then now is the time to give yourself permission to choose some new beliefs. And if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose some new beliefs, say yes.
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 Awesome. So, what are some new beliefs? Choose your new beliefs according to this pure creation that you see, that you feel, that you're experiencing right now in your imagination as a real, true thing. Create some new beliefs that are in alignment with that experience. It will take the place of those old limiting beliefs and empower you to step fully into this wholeness, this pure creation, the new highest level. 2 or 3 new beliefs, and really embody these new beliefs. Like, take a moment right now and sit or stand in a way that really exemplifies this wholeness, this pure creation that you have created in your mind and your imagination. Change your physiology, allow those new beliefs to become part of your cellular makeup, and feel the change within your body of the confidence, the desire, the reality, just actually being there. Allow those new beliefs to change the cellular makeup of your physiology, and feel as you stand up straighter, as you hold your head taller, whatever feels right. And then check in one more time with that inspired shortcut. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that needs to be added? Any other little bits of instruction or information that are needed? Or slight changes to your new beliefs to bring them more in alignment with this whole vision? And when you are ready, just bring all of that into your heart and soul so that it becomes part of you, all of that vision that you're seeing and feeling, and return back to the present. And we have just a couple of minutes to be able to share. I would like to also invite anyone that is feeling like they need some extra support in creating this vision to reach out to me and to have a 15-minute mentoring session with me. All you have to do is just go to askwylene.com, and that will take you to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call, askwylene.com. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
I would like to share
Lara?
What came to me in that little mini meditation was that the limiting belief, well, so what do I need to focus on in rising to the next level today? It's seeing myself as a light in the darkness, right? And when darkness arises in my world, it is because I am supposed to illuminate it, right? So it isn't a bad experience. It is a chance for me to shine Christ's light on a dark place in the world, allowing the world to become closer and closer to the full realization of the kingdom of God on earth. Wow. And knowing that the darkness, and I experienced this on the airplane day before yesterday, like both of the flights had aspects of it that were very disconcerting, or just, it could just plain irritating, but it was an opportunity for me to be a light in that darkness. And so the second one was just like one of these irritations that happens on airplanes. They had a young couple, poor things, with 2 fussy toddlers, and a fussy toddler and a fussy preschooler in the seat behind me. And they were just at their wits' end, with these 2 little ones. And it was just, during that whole flight, I just, obviously I had my headphones on because it was a lot, but it was also just them just shining a light around them, just being a light in their space. And then at the end of it, I said something really encouraging for the mom, and you could just see how grateful she was, because there's nothing worse for a mom and a dad to be like, oh my gosh, there's 200 people on this plane and everybody's hating me right now because my kids are screaming.
Mhm.
So anyway, but that's the way it is everywhere. We are kind of, in a sense, trapped in this experience together,
Mhm.
and we get to be that light, if we choose to, or we can see it as a negative experience. We can see it as a negative experience, or we can see it as an opportunity to shine the light of Christ. And if we choose to see ourselves as the full light of Christ in the darkness, then we transform, of course. We transcend the darkness disappears. The cost, however, is if we choose to not, I was thinking, like, if I choose not to be that light, or if I choose to diminish the light with my own feelings, beliefs about what the light should look like,
Mhm.
then the darkness will continue and grow stronger.
Thank you. I also just want to comment something else that you have given kind of a new facet to this idea of rising to the next level. Because when I thought of rising to the next level, it's like me rising to the next level, but rising above is a different aspect of rising to the next level, right? Rising above the darkness, rising above the screaming toddlers, and
Yeah.
to being, that being a better person in that situation that can rise above the irritation, and to be able to still shine your light as strongly and as powerfully as ever
Yeah.
to create light all around you,
And
and to
that's what
have that
Jesus
woman
did.
feel gratitude. Yeah, that's
Yes,
exactly
that's
what he
what he
did.
did. I mean, the Pharisees are, and terrible things happening, people, lepers, and I mean, just all these really dark experiences. And yet he was just the light everywhere
Mhm.
he went,
I love it. I love it. We have Deep T has something to share, and then we'll end our call. I do want to, Deep T, before you share, though, I want to just share a comment from Tammy, and I know her journey of jumping into the darkness. What you shared, Laura, was really helpful for her. She says, Laura, thank you. The dark isn't dark because I illuminate it with my light, the light of Christ that's within me, until I reach the point where God catches me as I jump, knowing he's there. So
it's such a
beautiful.
great opportunity. The dark is an opportunity. That's what came to me full force in the fullness of my soul.
Awesome.
We have
Beautiful.
that opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Deep T.
So I really didn't have anything to share, but then as Lara was speaking, she is right. If there is darkness, it is our thing to quickly get on the light, because it's not merely an observation, it's a manifestation. So the moment you realize you are in the dark, and if you don't illuminate yourself with a light, that is going to manifest further and further in your life.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's
So
all.
powerful. So what you're saying is, when the darkness comes, it is a manifestation. It's something that we actually created. And
Yeah,
so
it's
the
not an
quicker,
observation that oh, these
yes.
things are happening to me, and
Yeah.
it's a manifestation if you don't bring in that light of Christ inside you
Awesome.
at that very moment.
And what a powerful thought, because if we are the ones who created the darkness, then we definitely have the ability to illuminate it and to excuse it. So, and to choose the light. Thank you. Wow, such a powerful discussion today. Thank you so much, everybody who has shared, and just for bringing your light to this call, whether you actually shared verbally or not. We are feeling that wonderful energy that you bring to this call. And gratitude is such a powerful way to illuminate the darkness. Thanks for being here. We'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Love you guys. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.